Good morning to everybody. Pleasant morning on today the 16th of November, 2023. In fact, it is bright. And how are you doing, Kortensia?
I am actually doing excellent. You know, it's a little hot though. I find the little walk I had to do across here. Oh, geez, man.
It's hot, really?
I find maybe I just heat up early. I just hope it's not that time for me already. Just saying, good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis. How are we doing on this lovely Thursday morning? I hope all is well.
What about you, Jamster? How are you doing this morning?
I feel like that's like a cruel question right now.
Why you said that?
You know, because you all know.
Yeah, we
like,
do
no
know.
sleep and stuff.
But why are you pulling all-nighters? You know, I was to tell you get some sleep yesterday because I sensed you were not going to sleep.
Two words, midnight oil.
Okay.
Well past midnight, anyway.
And then, you know, Jam, so I have in my cup some green tea. And so, you know, I could bring you a couple bags and, you know, you could maybe boost your immune system. What do you think about that, man?
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. No, I do drink green tea. It's just that I don't think I've had any tea for the week. I think I had tea Sunday, probably.
Okay.
No, I had coffee Sunday. Might have been Saturday. Yeah.
You've been coffeeing.
Yes. So we've looked at some of the headline news because we try to keep the information that we speak on and also the topics very current and very, you know, as it comes. And, you know, just last night, WINNFM, maybe perhaps I could be wrong, maybe I haven't seen it anywhere posted on any other website.
Me neither.
News agency,
Yes.
you know, WINNFM, and the headline is that the former government minister, Lindsey Grant, convicted on 3 charges. And I'll just, you know, Kortensia, would you like to?
For sure. And this article is written by Kevin Brown. St. Kitts and Nevis WIN has confirmed that Lindsey Grant was convicted of battery on police, obstruction, and threatening language on November the 15th, 2023. A senior officer informed WIN that sentencing is slated for November 21st, 2023. So on January the 8th, 2022, former tourism minister Lindsey Grant was caught on camera in a tense verbal spat with law enforcement officers at the Last Lap Bar in Bird Rock. The widely circulated video led to much debate locally, with Grant facing heavy criticism from political opponents and the public alike. Following the video on March 5th, 2022, Grant called on the authorities to decide whether or not they would level criminal charges against him. On March 8, 2022, Grant was initially charged with the offense of beating a police officer in the execution of her duties and assaulting a police officer in the execution of his duties. In a statement from the People's Action Movement, PAM, on March the 8th, 2022, following the charges laid before the party, it said, unquote, "Indeed, we are aware of a political subtext to the entire issue, and there have been naked attempts by some to seek to score political points," end quote. PAM further stated that they, end quote, "are glad that the charges have been brought and call for a speedy trial in the hopes that all the facts of the matters are illuminated," end quote, and said they support the police, but also stood in solidarity with Grant. The public awaits the court's decision on the sentencing of Grant on November 21st.
I know a lot of persons were asking about this matter, and I, on previous shows, indicated to them that the matter had already been to court and that we were waiting the decision of the court. And again, on November 21st, based on the article, it says that the public awaits the court's decision on the sentencing aspect of it. Of course, this matter is before the law, before the court.
Yeah.
As an officer of the court myself, as an attorney, we have to just look at what is happening in this due process and await whatever would be. Of course, there is the option to appeal matters, and appeal is available to any citizen.
Yes.
And so we look forward, we look to see what is going to happen as it relates to this case. And so as we highlight things, as we normally do, this is one that really raised the headlines on WINNFM. In fact, at one point in time, Someone said to me that it seemed as though WINNFM was down during the evening. And I said to myself, I wondered, is it because maybe persons are going to the WINNFM page looking for this? Because as I said before, it seemed like WINNFM was the only news media house that to report it.
Okay.
Yeah, which was something I noticed, yeah.
Oh, kudos to WINNFM.
But I must say, in WINNFM's, to WINNFM's credit, you might see a story only on WINNFM, but I don't think generally people think like, well, it's only on WINNFM, so it can't be true. You know what I mean? Where there's some other places, it's them alone, and you're like, maybe we should chill until we, until we know for a fact. So just that we were just on the ball yesterday.
I love that the credibility stands out, and no one is questioning. They're just awaiting the results of this trial.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the final results as it relates to sentencing, because decision, it was heard by the magistrate, it was done at the magistrate level, and so persons could await what the decision on the sentencing would be. As we talked about things in the news, there's also going to be a press conference this morning by the People's Action Movement at 9 a.m. And so persons who are interested could tune in and hear what the People's Action Movement has to say in relation to...
Question, is it just going to be YouTube?
It's going to be the YouTube and the Facebook page of the People's Action Movement. The links have already been created and in circulation.
Okay.
As we look at other news...
Oh, we have to stay in sync for a little bit.
Oh, yes.
We have 12 months. We have doubled the amount of murders plus one. Condolences to the family and friends of that individual that lost his life last night.
Yes.
When will it stop, though?
Number 25.
Number 25.
Well, 11 months. So it's actually more than two as an average for you.
Yeah,
really
definitely.
Yeah.
And the Frigga Bay area, it happened.
Oh, boy.
Yes, late in the night. And it's really crazy. You see the videos being circulated on the social media.
It's funny that it takes you to lose your life for people to find out every bad thing you did. And whilst you're alive, you never see the bad things. I'm often baffled by it. Why? As soon as if that's him, because I'm not sure, you see all kind of things being put out there.
And also in the reverse, at the funerals of persons, you hear a lot of good things.
Yeah.
So it's
I don't understand.
Yes.
I don't understand.
I guess it's when someone has passed, the story then becomes that of the individual who lives.
Yes.
To tell.
Yep. Whether it's true or not.
Yes.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah. Any other local news that you highlighted?
Well, the seniors get a second chance to be young again. So the seniors on Nevis will be having an elocution contest tonight at 5:30 at the Malcolm Gishard Center. You don't say. Second time around.
That sounds very interesting.
Man, so
I love that. I love that approach.
Listen, I wish I could have gone over to listen to the seniors get their second chance.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's something that you really, I hope they live stream it. I hope so it could be recorded.
Exactly.
And kept for memories.
Yes, and if St. Kitts seniors, I guess because you see St. Kitts just had their prom, I don't know if Nevis would have a prom too, but I guess maybe some of the seniors over here or some officials can go over and support those at Nevis. Remember, it's 5:30 tonight at the Malcolm Gishard Center, the seniors elocution contest.
Awesome.
There's something here I wanna think about. Oh, this is perfect. Thanks, Carla. Morning, Carla. How are you doing? Apparently, this is from the Telegraph. We can't cancel the past. Ex-Westerners president dismisses renaming Wanapak over slavery link. So let me just read a bit of this. So it says here, let's see, where is it? Let me get. Okay, the case for renaming a stand at Lords over Sir Pelham Warner's historic links to slavery has been seriously undermined after it emerged there were no plans to change that of the Wanapak Sporting Complex on the Caribbean island of St. Kitts. Bruce Carnegie Brown, the chairman of Marylebone Cricket Club, sparked a major backlash last week following an interview with Telegraph Sport in which he revealed the naming of the home of cricket's 65-year-old Warner stand was something that ought to be kept under review. Carnegie Brown later told members that there was no intention to rename the Warner stand, but his comments inevitably reopened a long-standing debate about cricket's historic links with the slave trade. Warner, who died in 1963, was known as the grand old man of English cricket, and his association with the club spanned almost 70 years. He played 13 tests for England, served as chairman of selectors, and managed the Bodyline Tour of 1932 to 1933. He was born almost 70 years after the abolition of slavery, but his family derived its fortune from sugar plantations in the Caribbean. His grandfather, Colonel... I had to get rid of the frogs. His grandfather, Colonel Edward Warner, owned tobacco and sugar estates in Trinidad and Dominica, which were worked by slave labor from Africa. The Warner Park Sporting Complex is named after the first of the clan to settle in the West Indies, Sir Thomas Warner, who established St. Kitts as the earliest English colony there in 1624 and imported thousands of African slaves. But a direct involvement in the practice has never led to any move to cancel the Warners, on whose land now stands a cricket stadium that was built for the 2007 World Cup and is still an international venue today, according to the man behind its construction. Ricky Skerritt was until recently president of the West Indies Cricket Board, having previously spent more than a decade in the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, including as sports minister. He has been a member of the St. Kitts Cricket Association for half a century and has served as its secretary. The 67-year-old also happens to be a member of the MCC's very own World Cricket Committee. And I'm going to go on to quote Ricky now. Warner Park has been a center of my recreational and skill development life, he told Telegraph Sport. Because I played soccer in Warner Park for St. Kitts, I played cricket in Warner Park for St. Kitts, I built Warner Park's pavilions and so on to turn it into a stadium. And in the say 50 years I've been in Warner Park on a frequent basis, at no time have I encountered anybody else say, nor have I myself wondered aloud, should we rename this park because Warner was who he was? Stressing a name change would only be considered if somebody came forward with a reasonable argument. He added, people just say, let the past be the past. We can't cancel the past. Let's make best use of what resources we have today, and let's build on it, and let's improve our own lives and the lives of our people. I think I'll leave it there for now. That's not all, but just
a pretty long article.
Yeah. I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah,
So because his family owned slaves, they don't want the park to be named after him any longer? Is that the gist of the story?
Yeah, well, I guess what Carla was saying is that this is something that should be up for discussion. At least we know what's going on in England and how it's connected to Warner Park here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a good point because I've heard discussions. I've heard people discuss, for example, talk about a lot of the avenues that run north south and named after governors and administrators and so. Like they said, Eustace Fines, whose Fines Avenue is named after. Apparently, they said he was a very nasty individual. I remember somebody quoting, an elder quoting something he may have said in the House of Assembly back then, and a lot of really unpleasant things about us, So the conversation really does need to be had about removing the names of some of these people from a lot of these, you could say, parts of our society, and
I
think Warner Park definitely should be renamed.
So if it was to be renamed, do you have something in mind already? Who do we name it after?
Well, that discussion, that referendum would be had probably.
Yeah.
Maybe Zara Claxton, because she's doing well in sports.
I mean, they already named Grove Park after Willett, so I guess it can't be him, so it could be somebody else.
I mean, it is a point for discussion, and as you look at it and you see a number of areas being named after persons who you know, perhaps didn't appreciate people like you and I who are living in this country. So, you know, I think it's up for discussion. Yeah. You have a caller?
Yeah. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think we should
This is gonna be good.
easy on this renaming of stuff. Okay. Yes, a lot of it is vestiges of colonialism and slavery and so on. But it's also history.
Okay.
And where do we draw the line? Should we rename the Prince of Wales Bastion something else? You know, when does it stop? You know, one of the unfortunate things I think is that in an effort to, it's a strange effort at redressing past wrongs. You can't change history, okay, no matter what you do. It's not a celebration to be calling something, naming something after somebody. It's just a matter of, in that point in time, that was seen as appropriate. And
But for some
sure
persons,
that
Mr. McMahon, and you know, I get your point. But for some persons, the name alone, perhaps for some, I know, and the history behind it, perhaps, is a constant reminder.
We should get over that, right? I'm sure, for instance, as we develop, there are going to be lots of edifices and parks and whatever else that we can name after people. All right? We don't have to go overboard with the renaming at this point. You notice, for instance, to look at your part of the woods, the Anglican Church in Middle Island.
Yes.
They refurbished it. They essentially refurbished it, but the tower, that is. But remodeled it. So now, I recall a long time ago, when you had the ramparts at the top. You're probably too young to remember. But they had the ramparts at the top, somewhat like how the Anglican Church in Bastille is. Okay? And to me, that's almost like heresy. You know? You don't go changing stuff simply because you want to remove past bad experience. That is just part of human existence.
But wouldn't you say the naming of a structure and the reconstruction of a structure are two different things? The reconstruction of a structure versus the naming of a structure, don't you think those are two different things?
No, it's the same.
It's the same. I want to think so.
same
The same
mentality.
thing, yeah. Because we're trying to remove something that reminds us of something.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
But
You know?
I mean,
and I'm not saying that it should be across the board. Okay, I was fully supportive of renaming what was Pall Mall Square to Independence Square. That's a good gesture. What I'm saying is, you can take it too far.
yeah, and I do get the point that, you know, renaming everything would be, you know, for renaming sake.
But wouldn't you say that Warner Park is a central part of our being as Kittians and divisions, and
Everybody knows Warner Park.
and I feel like it should be renamed. Just straight up.
There can be discussion on that. And all I'm saying is, right, just be careful with what we do in terms of this
Renaming everything.
stuff.
I mean,
You know, and making everything seem as if
But
it's in this.
I get your point, Mr. McMahon, in the
Century
point that
alone, you
you
know?
know, just renaming. But I think that the exceptions could be made if it is that you have a structure, you have something that is named after, reminds you of a total injustice or total misfortune. Instead of having that thing constantly remind you of the misfortune, you could perhaps rename it into something to someone that, you know, reminds you of maybe more pleasant memories. But I'm not talking just directly to Warner Park, but generally, you catch what I'm saying, because
Well, you don't have to be general in this instance. I mean, how many people living now associate Warner Park with the slave trade.
Oh, come on.
I'm sure people have a lot of pleasant memories of being at Warner Park.
But the same could be said about the
supporting
square, but we renamed it, didn't we?
Yes, but what I'm
It's a
saying
good
is-
discussion, you know.
No.
Yes.
The thing with Independence Square is, if, as was said, it was a slave market, that is almost like a direct influence on people. Okay, I could understand that, right? Because it, to me, is a tribute to our ancestors to rename that.
But then,
But
Wha-
Warner Park, Brimstone Hill, you know, all those other places, you know, why extend it to there?
well, I mean, I probably wouldn't go as far as Brimstone. It probably doesn't make sense renaming all
Exactly.
those,
That line should be drawn.
all the little what do you call them, sub citadels or whatever on the property.
circus,
But
for
what is
example.
what is the name of Brimstone Hill?
Brimstone Hill.
And what association does that?
No, but
No,
at
he meant
Brimstone,
like-
you have like the Prince of Wales.
Yeah,
Bastion,
and stuff
Oh,
like
okay,
that,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
right? I mean, the circus clock. I mean,
The Brooklyn
even
Memorial.
even the phone booths there. I've seen tourists come and take pictures of them, for instance, because they regard it as quaint, as something worthy of. It's a memory for them, because I guess they don't see a lot of those in where they come from. Okay, and so we should look at things, put things in perspective. Yes, some places absolutely need to be renamed.
But Ira, here's the thing. This is how I look at it. It feels to me like you leave Warner Park as Warner Park, named after the guy who came here and was instrumental in killing off the natives, right? It's you're basically validating and canonizing him in perpetuity. By
Should we exhume his tomb?
yes, probably I would, and send it back to England. I would if it was up to me. Yeah. Oh, I mean, why are we fetting a land thief and a mass murderer, and have people going down there to visit his tomb like he's some
Generations
like
have
he's
passed
some
since then.
demigod? I
Right.
mean, come on.
Generations have passed since then. Why is it on us to change that? Okay?
But why is it on us to leave it? Is that Stockholm syndrome? Is
Because
that
it's part-
Stockholm?
it is part of our history.
But is that Stockholm syndrome talking?
No, it's not Stockholm syndrome. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people have good memories of these edifices, monuments, call them what you may.
Yeah.
Okay, that do not include its association with slavery.
I mean, we don't even have anything named. I mean, take for example, I've always said to people, I feel like as a mark of respect to the indigenous peoples of the Caribbean, I feel like the islands should reclaim the indigenous names and change them to the indigenous names. Why is it we want to hold on? Why is it we want to continue the Stockholm syndrome and hold on to the names of these criminals?
No, but I'm not
Yet-
saying.
yet-
No, I'm not saying that you do it carte blanche. What I'm saying.
I know, but
because,
what
for
I-
instance,
There's nothing named after Barbie.
Zante should never
How
be
come there's
named
nothing?
that.
Why couldn't Port Zante be named Port Barbie?
Right. Okay, and that,
Port Tegraman.
I can understand that. I bemoan the fact that there is no monument to slavery. We talk about. You see, that's his point.
There's nothing
We
named
talk
after
about-
Marcus
We talk,
of the
We
Woods.
talk about these things in abstract. Other countries have, for instance, their monument to slavery. I mean, some of them are very impressive. The one in thing, they had the museum in Curacao, for instance, really impressive. What we have, we so long we've been talking about a monument to slavery, and we have gotten nowhere. So why select renaming stuff like this? There are other ways to celebrate our freedom, to recall
So how about
essentially our Holocaust.
right?
Than
So
to do this, right? Why not put a really prominent monument to the top of Sofa Stone, where everybody must notice it and ask, what is that?
Actually,
You know?
I heard somebody mention that before, something like that before.
Yeah.
But how about the counterbalance I just suggested? We name out some things after Marcus of the Woods and Babby and
Sure.
Tegraman and
Of
what's
course.
the lady from what's the name? Bert
I'm not sure.
Bella. What's someone who's also been
I remember.
whose
Yeah.
court case went up to England and so on and
Yeah. I
yeah.
can't
Okay.
recall the name.
Yeah.
But no,
Familiar with
Something
that
with
one.
B. Yeah.
So,
Betty Douglas.
Yes, right.
Yeah, Betty Douglas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Right.
discussion
And
could,
I'm saying that
could
there
go
are
on.
lots of things we can do in memory of her, but we don't have to erase
What we
history.
have. Okay.
Okay, if you erase history, you know the old saying, if you don't remember your history, you're condemned to repeat it. Okay, we just need to put it in perspective, and I'm saying we can do both. We can certainly do the kinds of things that you talk about in naming things after these prominent people.
I mean, what about the streets named after the administrators and governors, the Malone Avenue and all those? I mean, those could be changed. Fines, Durant, all those could be changed.
you know what I
If we're
think
not going to have
about.
other avenues and so on coming in the future that we can name.
You know what I think about as we have these discussion. I think about actually. Well, I might not be this might not be the view shared by everyone, but I think the republic where we have St. St. Nevis becoming a republic, and we really envision and do a total change over the renaming of names of persons who are here local, persons who
What I'm
added
saying is,
positively to our
we have to
history.
be, Azard, we have to be careful with that. Okay, how do you think it's going to look 50 years from now? Totally different. We're going to have lots of opportunities to name stuff after people. Okay? There's no reason to try to erase history.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Okay?
I understand Mr. McMahon totally,
You know,
and then I still understand.
The
you
thing
guys.
about it, right? We think, as he said, 50 years from now. The thing about it, none of us are going to be here forever.
Let's hope. Come
Exactly.
on.
So why
And we don't know what the future persons would do
That's
then.
why I always advocate for naming things off of people while they're alive, so they know that this is named after them, and not when they're dead to say, oh, now I'm going to name this sir, this and this and that.
Hey, but this though, before we
No,
go to the
I
break,
don't believe in that.
Azard-
I don't believe in that one bit.
Azard is a gym rat. He might be the one to live forever.
Do things posthumously because, well, you never know.
So, guys,
the benevolent dictator today might be someone involved in some really bad butchery tomorrow. There are plenty of opportunities to.
So wait
name
until
stuff
they're
after
dead,
people.
you're saying, Mr. McMahon, until you rename something?
What's that?
You're basically saying wait until the person dies to rename, or rename whilst they're alive.
And that's my personal preference. That it be done
Why?
posthumously. Don't wait until they die. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
To really assess the good that they've done, because you can go about naming all kind of stuff, and then in the future you realize, boy, that was not such a good idea. What you do? I guess you change it back, right? Or you change it. But it's just my personal preference.
As far as I'm concerned, maybe George Street should be called Elimat Avenue or something.
Oh, nice.
You know?
Yeah.
These are the kind of things that should be happening.
Why was it called George Street?
King George, probably. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and make a logical guess. Probably, I could be wrong, but it's likely that it was named after King George.
Port Zante could be.
I don't know.
Just playing devil's advocate,
by
we
the
could
way,
just
you
call the
can-
streets by numbers.
I just said
Lane
George
1,
Street.
lane 2, lane 3.
You're just wrong.
I just said George Street, right? George Street. I think of that well-known educator, Miss George.
Okay.
It can have different connotations, right?
Well,
I don't know. I think I just thought, back to my original point. We can go overboard with this.
Yes.
I don't think we should.
Okay then. Thank you so much.
Leave some things for the future generations to do.
how is it going overboard trying to reclaim ourselves? But it wasn't going overboard when these people came down here and stole stole all this land and killed all the natives. Isn't that like way beyond overboard?
Of course, I
Right.
agree.
Right.
So guys,
So what I'm saying
let's take the short break,
What
please.
I'm saying is, you put it on yourself to address all of that, and I'm saying that no, okay. As far as you're concerned, it would be nice if that is a distant memory, that as if it never happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that is not historically, that is not a good idea.
We get your point, Mr. McMahon. We're going to take this short break, okay, and come back.
Okay, it's
Yes.
8:35. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Need more ways to win cash? Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery today. Spend as low as $1 on each game and you can become our next winner. Spend more and win up to $4,000 with Pick 3 or up to $40,000 with Pick 4. Visit thecaribbeanlottery.com for how to play and to see daily draw results. Remember, Pick 3 and Pick 4 each give you 12 chances daily to win. So join the winning team. Over $3 million EC dollars paid out in Pick 3 and Pick 4 so far this year. Play today at any Caribbean Lottery agent island-wide. Must be 21 and over to play.
It's TDC for me, TDC for we. Neighbor, partner, your family. The best is yet to come, believe me. Moving forward, moving with. Hey, TDC serve the nation with the best customer experience. TDC, you are the one for we. Happy anniversary. Together we succeed. Building on strong community. Pressing onward to our destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
It's here! The final member of the Scratch and Win Multiplier Suite. You can win over $875,000 in cash prizes with the new 20X The Cash game from the Caribbean Lottery. This excellent new $5 game is an easy way for you to multiply your money. You can even play it with our other multiplier games like 50X and 100X The Cash to maximize your winnings. So, play the new Scratch game, 20X The Cash, today. Available at Caribbean Lottery retail agents island-wide. Must be ages 21 and over to play.
The Legends Tent moves to Progress Bar and Grill, formerly G-Spot in Sandy Point. Thursday night, November 16. Then it's Legends Tent again on Saturday night, November 18 at Vibes Bar, Frigate Bay, featuring The Undertaker, Lady Diva, I Joe, Lady Carrots, Empress Lyrics, Westside, Socrates, Lord Payne, Mighty J, and more. MC The Cutter. Showtimes 8 p.m. Legends Tent sponsored by Hosford, Carib, and OJ's.
8:38. Well, Azard had to leave for you guys know there's going to be a PAM press conference at 9 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
And for the people who don't know, he's actually the party chairman.
I know, big shot.
Yeah, big shot. So he has to go and make sure the coffee's made and make sure the chairs are in place.
Oh my gosh. And he has to go on chair.
Do the mics work? Yes, the
Yes.
mics work.
Mhm. And that's to also make sure that the streams are up so that we can be informed. Ensure that they're running.
Did the caterer bring the food? Did we inform all of the media houses?
Yeah, he's just got to make sure about everything. He's got a
Yeah.
big job to do. A
know.
very big job to do.
You want to go back to the phone lines? Let's go.
We can. Let's
see.
hear what the people has to say.
Caller, Auntie, go right ahead.
Good morning, Jamster. Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning.
To me, I will never change the name Warner Park. Warner Park was given to the people as a gift. Plum Warner did not have to do what he did then. It was when the government passed the land and named the park Warner Park. Plum Warner gave the land as a recreation area for the people of St. Kitts. Like some person, I hear Mr. McMahon talking, but he didn't went into full details of how Warner Park come remember his name. That's the reason why he ended up with that name. And it's true that he would have benefited from what his parents did during slavery, but at least some kind of reparation, what do you call it? Some kind of payment was done back then when he donated that plot of land for recreation for thanking people. I mean, I call it reparation.
Yeah, reparations, you're correct.
In a sense, I would not change him because it was a great gesture that he did what he did. Otherwise than that, we would not have had that space for young people to go at afternoons and play cricket, play football or whatever. That cricket then was used to be played up to Springfield. See what other cricket there? Was up there it started, and then that lot of land was donated. And
Kosh, let me ask you a question. I remember learning this from Stanley Franks, that rest in peace, that Springfield used to be that was the park before the park. And so where did they bury people
I was
before?
just going to ask that question.
Yeah, was it churchyards before that?
I fully understand what you said.
No, I remember Stanley Franks had told us that they used to play cricket up at Springfield. But so what I'm asking now is, did they just bury people in churchyards before that? Before they turned it into a cemetery?
No, it's Springfield, right? Like the military camp was there.
Oh, no. Oh, so the burial ground was always the burial ground.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Because, the dates on some of those stones. Yeah, that's true. Good point. Okay.
But I will look to change the name of King Street. Street below that Lodge Road, the other road down, leading into Baker's Corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. King Street, what do you know about King?
It could have been named after a king.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean like someone with the
King
surname.
George or...
No, with the surname King, maybe. I was thinking.
Oh.
Could have been.
You're a person who might have contribute a lot in the area there.
I agree. Tishero, for example.
Oh, yeah. Tishero Drive.
Yeah.
Not bad.
What Tishero do?
Yeah.
Tishero helped mash up Warner Park.
Okay.
Then Boy Astafan was the president of the Cricket Association, and Stanley Franks was the president of the Football Association. He had a football game was held in Warner Park.
Yeah.
The field was laid out right down the center, the center pitch is. And then they wanted to use Football Association, wanted to use Cricket Association boundary boards, and they didn't want to pay some kind of money to the surround area, the cricket boundary board. But Edward Teixeira could not have told Boy Astafan no, and he could not have told Stanley Franks no. He did like a stupidity, and all kind of political decisions was then made after that. I used to work in the carriage scoreboard. I knew what took place. I was in the middle of everything. So
Okay.
he had to go please both, and that's how we end up in both football and cricket. Let somebody call him, please.
Okay. Yeah, well, okay, man. We didn't need to go down that road, but, we're just throwing out names. Actually, on Monday night, was it Monday night? Yeah, Monday night, Laverne, Laverne Gumbs, the hairdresser, she started a show, and her guest was the former chief of police, C.G. Walwyn, and she was asking him if he was born here. He was saying he was born on that street to the east of the police station. So he kind of jokingly said, I hope at some point they could name it after me. So I laughed, but then I thought about it. I said, yeah, actually, that might not be a bad idea, because maybe, you never know, maybe being born there that could have been why he pursued law enforcement too. The police station is right across the street.
Yeah. Indeed. But on the fact of reparations, though, I see there's a little article here from Loop Caribbean. Everybody's wanting reparation. Regional governments wants collaboration with Africa on issue of reparations. So do you believe we're owed something?
Absolutely. I'm not saying necessarily it has to be literally just money. I mean, it could be in kind in terms of other things, scholarships and so on. Hey, caller, go right ahead.
Okay.
Hi, good morning, Amsterdam.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning.
That issue that you're on right now, I just don't want to take away from it. We're waiting on it. But I just called in to give some more added information to what the discussion was with you and Koshwai earlier, pertaining to where the cemeteries were. Was after a cholera outbreak, probably in 1884 or thereabouts, and to be corrected with the date, that a national cemetery was needed because of the enormity of death from that cholera outbreak.
Yeah, I recall I heard that
before. In the
before.
cemetery, you will find there is an obelisk, similar to the one that we celebrated just on the 11th down at the War Memorial. It's just adjacent, like, to the Clarence Fitzgerald College, just on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was the Cunningham Hospital right over there. But yes, so it's after that cholera outbreak, because after College Street got the Moravian Church, the Zion Moravian Church, just on the right side, coming down from north. I think there used to be a cemetery.
Oh.
And because of the extreme weather, wind that we would get from time to time, and the guts would run, and a lot of the corpse of the deceased was exposed, we were told. And that is when legislation was enacted to bring about a national cemetery and doing away in the Bastille area, the burial in churchyard.
Okay. That makes
but
sense.
That's still happening in the rural side, as you will know, because there's not another cemetery per se in the rural side, except to the one in Bastille. And we really needed a cemetery. The deceased persons, they are still our family members, and they have to be buried with dignity. And I don't think their remains should be disrupted to facilitate another deceased person.
Okay.
But it happens from time to time, but, I will continue to listen because I want to hear your thoughts on reparations.
Yes.
Jam stuff.
Okay, well,
yes, we are old.
Okay, well,
So I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Thanks for listening.
Okay, great. Well, I was kind of hoping we'd get some more calls on the whole thing that Carla sent us. But it's like I always say, Court, a lot of times, even like when I do voices, sometimes I throw out these topics and no bites.
No bit. Nobody wants to take.
Let me come up with something salacious and oh boy.
So, folks, do you agree with the fact that some of our most prominent places should be renamed, and we want to start with Warner Park, if you believe? Well, we know what Mr. McMahon says. So, caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Oh,
I would
hey,
like to agree with Jamster with the renaming of a lot of fixed assets around here that would cause us to remember past events. You see, a lot of people suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, not because they directly experienced a trauma, but they could have read about it. And just like how we could take a calypso and explicate it and have it there in front of us vividly, when you read the history of these things that would have happened, they could traumatize you as well. So I'm really in favor of us reducing them considerably, if not zeroing them totally. Once it is pragmatic to do so, I think that we should do that, because these memories do impact our local people. You have a therapy called cognitive processing therapy, where you tend to replace unpleasant thoughts and memories by more pleasant ones.
Okay.
And we cannot replace them if you're going to go to Warner Park, especially the central area for us to have recreation. Every single thing we got, netball, football, cricket, we have to go to Warner Park. The name is always with us. How could we dilute that to insignificance if we do not try to change the name at first? We have to try to change the name. I mean, Koshwai indicated that it was a major gift. But not every major donation we have to put up something to remind us of who did it.
Okay.
Unless we would have been like Taiwan. Everything would have a Taiwanese name because we got quite a lot of gift and pleasant gestures from the Republic of Taiwan, China. So we cannot go along with that. We have to reduce them in as much as it is pragmatic to insignificance. Our children must not be coming up with those stuff. This thing should have started long ago.
But I think if we rename it, though, our children will know, because if, let's say we take them on a tour of it, then we'll say this place was named after such and such, but it was renamed because of. So the history will still stand, although we would have renamed
if you want the history, we have archives. Go down in the archives and dig up the inside of the history books. We don't need a physical structure that our children got to be subjected to every time.
Okay.
And that is why we have agriculture issue in St. Kitts. Our fashion is aging. You know why it is aging? Young people don't want to be associated with the soil, because that is where we got our most knocked out, in the agriculture field by the slave masters. That is why our fashion is becoming older and older. How many young people you have going into agriculture? That is the nucleus of our problem when it comes to agriculture. I taught history in school. I talk to my children. They don't even want to go in the backyard to plant a piece of thyme, a piece of herbs, nothing at all.
Because they associated
them of slavery.
Really?
Yes, remind them of slavery, even they can benefit us.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to see it that way, because history taught them that soil is what really caused the destruction and the degradation of black people.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, in order for us to go through the cognitive processing therapy, we need to have those things diluted to insignificance. If they have 1,000 of them, get rid of the 1,000 of them. Zero in on them. And I'm completely in support of JAMSA when it comes to that. That's my contribution. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, caller. Jamster, as we wait for others to weigh in on the renaming of stuff, as you said,
I just got a correction, and I was thinking it when he said it. The obelisk in Springfield was actually for persons that died in a flood. 1928, right? Yeah, 1928. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking when he said it. I thought that was for the flood. Yeah.
So, Jamster, since we're going to rename, let's say we rename Warner Park, so every individual on St. Kitts, including my good friend that I just see there that carries the last name Warner, should they rename themselves as well? So,
yeah, okay, sorry about that.
As I was saying, should the persons who carry Warner rename themselves as well? Because it's
you are.
I'm just saying.
You are a deadly devil's advocate. That is a very good. That's a good one.
I came to St. Kitts in 1995, and I met Warner Park, and I'm thinking, what can we rename it to? And because Warner Park is just Warner Park, I don't think most of us are going there and sit there think, oh my God, this was given to us by a slave master or what. I'm not trying to, as I said, down the feelings or the thoughts of. Okay, caller, go ahead. Good morning. You're live on Allen T.
Yes, good morning and welcome to my country.
Thank
and with
you.
this, what you may tell you, it don't come back here. Sorry to say that, but let me tell you, history is good. When I was hearing some history yesterday on the same station with another announcer, it was amazing. Nobody did explain to us that the force and the point come like that on a main road. You used to take a boat to go there.
Okay.
In them days, I know teacher was his name was just the history of our soil. So me suppose, let me tell you, as I up here now this month gonna make me ending of this month make me 6 years going. I don't eat pumpkin out my land or my yard. I don't eat potato, sweet potato. I don't got me little herbs.
I'm gonna have to come by.
So right now, I clean it up the other day to get some wines. We look like I don't got to order them from overseas because I up to no mason on. But otherwise, I got some wines right now planted because I had some. But what happened, I think I should have saved the thing which I didn't do, the slipped. But what happened, the cattle them used to come through here and they goat them and eat them up. You know, and I did take a while before I could have fenced up again. I didn't, maybe. I should have really keep them in a hidden with some pieces and just keep down wetting them.
Okay,
Mr.
caller.
What his name? There's nothing wrong with the soil. It's the soil we got us strong enough. I remember coming up as a young woman. Right? People cutting up banana, a bunch of banana. Right? Out of the yard, so they go in town to sell. Because in the country, everybody got a banana tree in the yard. Mostly everybody, not everybody. And they won't want to sell it around there. The time was 10 cents and all them there and 5 cents. So I ain't say nothing and teacher thing talking about thing. I don't say we condemn the soil is good.
Okay.
And there's that I get to know now. That same potato. I just learned the last year. Right? That the potato bush could eat in rice. Nobody taught us that in school. So it ain't everything with historical. Fully. I find it's good to know about history. Look, we hear about some of the things they say. And Sunny Point in the first song, which I always hear them say that was own road. Because it's dear, the people, them land.
Okay.
But they always say Sunny Point, Sunny Point, Sunny Point. Miss Henry say, well, one thing with you all, if nobody ain't think it's a big up the country, it is, the village, sorry. Where they come from.
Okay, caller.
Yeah.
We have to go. But we have someone from I think the pastor from the Antioch Church is going to be joining us at 9. But yeah, Sandy Pointers go abroad, and I'm sure the Sandy Pointers who live abroad, the people probably think Sandy Point is an island. Just to get that idea.
At least they're proud people.
Yeah, that's true.
Good morning, caller. Go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Hi, good morning, guys. Just would like to weigh in on the whole discussion of renaming. Jamster, when you allowed us to come on this show to talk about Marcus of the Woods, the whole notion of us not talking about our history came up. And I want to use that to suggest this. I am of the opinion that places named after persons who have committed atrocities to us, as well as indigenous people of the Caribbean, should be renamed outright. I'm not in favor of perpetuating any false sense of greatness by these people. But in addition to that, I know it's different for some people. Everyone would have their own point of view. But I would like to challenge the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to consider this. Similarly, how we had Marcus of the Woods, Beto Douglas, and the list goes on and on and on. I mean, Cameron spoke to how the Buckley's riot was the catalyst for so many things that happened in the Caribbean. We don't acknowledge, we don't celebrate those things, and we don't do a good job at making sure this is the story that people hear when they come to St. Kitts. So I would actually go as far as saying we should not consider eliminating history. Yes, a lot of atrocities were perpetuated, and in no shape or form am I trying to say that it has not impacted our society, because we still see it today. Jamster jokingly says Stockholm Syndrome, but the truth of the matter is when you see how we interact with certain persons in authoritative positions, etc., that is a clear indication of that. But I think we can take it a step further and say, look, out of those atrocities, these people came up. These are our national heroes. And again, we don't do a good job at celebrating people who are not politicians. They contributed to our social fabric so much, and we don't say, okay, this is the story that we need to really be pushing. This is the narrative. This is who we are as a people, as opposed to, I am the descendant of a slave.
Yes.
That's my contribution.
Okay, great. Great way in, actually. Let me see if we can sneak in one more. We have 2 minutes until 9 o'clock. Caller, go right in. Please be brief. We have a segment coming up at 9. Go ahead.
I would be my brother Jamster, blessed voice in morning in the power of the Almighty Creator. And who is the other co-host? Azard, the chair is in the studio today.
It's Kortensia. Azard had to run off for the PAM
Blessed
press
morning,
conference.
teaching in the love of the divine creator power vibration. And good morning to your listeners. I just get a call indicating that you all was outlining about the monuments that are located in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, but you have to hurry up because we don't have much time.
The original name is not the obelisk, it's the Cadus. And those are the information that based from the Kemetic leverage. And the Kemetic leverage was able to emphasize spiritual aspiration. So the Cadus mean is to reborn, meaning the transition, but you're moving on to another different dimension. So just giving that level to the people of life, because these are our spiritual rights, not the Freemasons who come down here and control people by economical power. Blessed love.
Okay, great. Actually, he's right. The obelisk is an Egyptian, what do you call it? An architectural feature.
Okay, so you mean the one at the cenotaph and the one in the graveyard?
Yeah. And the monument in the DC and all that stuff.
Okay, understood. Understood. Okay,
all
cool.
that is influenced by Egyptian architectural culture and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess religious as well. Yeah. Because what he was saying, he's on
now
point.
y'all are gonna send me to do some research here because I never knew. That's good. We really learn something new every day. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna get to the break and get ready for the pastor.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Dreaming of that perfect getaway? Hop aboard the McCanna Ferry to the breathtaking islands of Saba, Statia, St. Martin, and St. Kitts. Embark on a delightful journey and enjoy sun-kissed beaches, vibrant cultures, and unforgettable experiences. Visit McCannaFerryService.com to book your island-hopping adventure today.
Save the date, November 18th from 2 to 8 p.m. at Greenland's Pasture. The Tourism Fest is back. Join us on Tourism Boulevard and be entertained by all cultural acts and live performances by Vibes International, Dijon, V13 Family, Akaya Suite, and more. Enjoy a domino competition and live demonstration, all hosted by EK The Real Right. Explore our island romance, Flavor Mignon, Rum Spot, Sweet Blocks, Tours Galore, Sense and Sensibilities, Agri-Tourism Zone, and Kids Zone. This year's theme, Regenerative Tourism, investing in a world of recovery, venturing beyond sustainability. Don't miss it, November 18, Greenland's Pasture, 2 to 8 p.m. Be a part of the adventure. The Tourism Fest, where culture, entertainment, and sustainability unite. See you there.
The Legends Step moves through Progress Bar and Grill, formerly G-Spot in Sandy Point. Thursday night, November 16. Then it's Legends Tent again on Saturday night, November 18 at Vibes Bar, Frigate Bay, featuring The Undertaker, Lady Diva, I Joe, Lady Carrots, Empress Lyrics, West Side, Socrates, Lord Payne, Mighty J, and more. MC The Cutter. Showtimes 8 p.m. Legends Tent sponsored by Hosford, Carib, and OJ's. The Legends Step moves through Progress Bar and Grill, formerly G-Spot in Sandy Point. Thursday night, November 16. Then it's Legends Tent again on Saturday night, November 18 at Vibes Bar, Frigate Bay, featuring The Undertaker, Lady Diva, I Joe, Lady Carrots, Empress Lyrics, West Side, Socrates, Lord Payne, Mighty J, and more. MC The Cutter. Showtimes 8 p.m. Legends Tent sponsored by Hosford, Carib, and OJ's.
It's 3 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we have a team here from the Antioch Baptist Church, and not least of which is the pastor himself, Lincoln Corner, and it's all about the turnaround agenda. Good morning, Pastor and friends.
Pastor and crew. Morning.
Good morning to you, Jamster. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful lady. Good morning to all the listening and the viewing audience. Morning to the world.
Oh, yes, indeed, indeed. And happy International Men's Month to you gentlemen in here.
Happy International Men's Year.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. Happy International Men's Year. I'm going to give you it all. So, Pastor Conan, tell us, what is it you have upcoming at the Antioch Baptist
right.
Church?
Well, we have for the past few years been having a number of engagements for our men around International Men's Day, but we have an intentional outreach for men, and so we, during International Men's Day, sort of intensify that. A few years ago, we started having what we call Men of Influence Forum, and what we did, we split the service, so it became like a gender service. The ladies came very early, then the men came at the regular time.
Okay.
And so that has been really good, and great feedback from that. But in the past 2 years or so, we have also twinned that with some activities for our turnaround agenda. Our turnaround agenda is our outreach to young men 11 to 21, focusing on transformative, innovative changes in their life, and also transitioning them from that late adolescence into adulthood. So folks would have heard of the turnaround agenda, and we've been doing a number of things in relation to that. So this year, we are having, first of all, on Friday, a Brother to Brother, which is going to engage the young men between 11 to 21. And our speaker is Mr. Reginald Anderson, who you're going to hear from. I'm going to let him speak a little bit. And that's on Friday at 5:30. And then at 7:30, we are having Royal Worship, Men in Concert. And that's just going to be like all male voices, everything male. And not just because it's a token, but you'll be able to see that this is something that the church focuses on and functions in terms of that engagement. So it's not just because this is an event. And then on Saturday, again, the turnaround agenda, we'll be focusing on our young men, 11 to 21, what we call a Night for Kings. And that is a dinner event, again, when Mr. Anderson is going to speak to them. And on Sunday, we have Men of Influence Forum. We invite all the men to this service, and a number of folks have already said, I'm going to see you Sunday, and I'm going to see you. They haven't come for the whole year, but they said, Pastor, I can't like this one Sunday, I can really come. And the women will come at 7, and then all the males will come at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. So it's just a wonderful opportunity when you have all of that energy in one space, and you can learn from other men, and you can model certain behaviors, and you can go away kind of like thinking, well, you know, this is something that I can implement in my life, because that is critically important. So that is what we are doing this weekend as we focus on our men.
So what exactly is the turnaround agenda, and why did you not start from 10? Why did you choose the age of 11?
Great. Well, the turnaround agenda, it's called TAG, and as the name suggests, it is intended to redirect our young men in terms of receiving, and giving honor, because men look forward to honor. And it's also intended to help those young men at that critical psychosocial developmental stage in terms of transitioning from primary into high school, and then from high school into that adulthood. Nobody ever tells you in society what it means to be a man, how you know you're a man. They just tell you one day you ain't a man in here, and the next day they say you playing a man, and the next day they say you walk in, you is a man, and the next day they say, well, since you think a man, go out my house.
Exactly.
And so it is helping men to appreciate that kind of development in their life. But I have been a school teacher for 26 years, and I saw a lot of challenges in terms of that transitioning from school into that sort of age. And also now, even in my adult life as a pastor and as a counselor, I work with young men who would be very private and say, you know, how they just feel like their life was just a waste. They have kids, they might have a wife, they might everything, but they just don't know how to maneuver life. And so it is engaged for that particular reason. It's not for academics, because you know, it's a real good cadre of young men who are part of the program. And folks would say, well, you should help them with their schoolwork. And I said, no, the reality is, if you feel good about yourself, everything else will measure up. Every single thing will measure up, right?
Correct.
So it is about instilling that kind of sense of pride in our young men, and that responsibility that is absolutely necessary. It's not about blaming whether they had a father, don't have a father, have a single mother, whatever. Because even sometimes you have a male figure in the house, and it's still not, because we teach the way that we were taught, and there are lots and lots of principles that our young men really don't know and don't understand.
Yes, Chef. So you mentioned you're going to add something else? Okay. You mentioned one of the speakers that was going to have some.
Yes, Mr. Reginald Anderson, and I want to introduce him and let him also introduce himself, tell us a little bit about himself and why he is interested, because he actually, it was funny, we were planning these events early in the year, and I was like, Holy Spirit, God, we need some speakers, and we got the money to pay for people to come, and we've used people here, but you also wanted to have a different face and whatever. And so I was literally in Miami airport, and I had a long layover, and I had papers in front of me and on the computer doing all my stuff. And then the phone rang, and then he was on the phone, and he said, he had about the 21 agenda, kind of good stuff, which from Brother Dwayne here, and he wanted to know if we had any upcoming events, how we can be a part of that. He'd be like, yes, we have upcoming events, you can be a part of it.
Oh, nice.
So he paid his own way and came.
And, nice. Yes. So that's good. Everything worked out in your favor.
Yes, that's
and for the agenda as well.
Yes. So yes, my name is Reginald Anderson. Some of you all may know me because I have been traveling throughout the Caribbean for 18 years.
Okay.
Some of you all know the name of Master Assist.
Yeah.
Medical Air Services.
Yes.
Well, I was the previously senior vice president of the international division. I am going to be retiring come December 31st of this year. And since I've been in the Caribbean for so long, I have a heart and love for the Caribbean. And I felt it was my duty to try to get involved with the youth. I have a story to tell. And I want to be able to share my story with the youth, young men.
Yes.
Because I was once a young man.
Yeah.
Raised by a single mother.
Okay.
Right? And we all have to get outside of our bubble, get outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I want to tell my story, but I want to also stay involved in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So this is my first stop.
Okay.
Many more stops to go.
Oh, good. Very, very good. I see there's a young man. He's actually wearing the shirt, the turnaround agenda. How did he become part of this movement? Can you tell us who you are and how you became part of this movement and how influential it has been thus far in your life?
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Dujanay Diaz. How I became a part of this? Well, it's a very funny story.
You sure you want to? That's how you came to church. Go ahead.
Why?
Funny story.
Let us not hear this funny story.
Okay, go ahead.
It was like probably 4 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
I just came in the cafe and
at the church.
Okay.
Came in the cafe at the church, and it was some event. I forgot.
It was the
dance recital.
The dance recital.
Yeah.
He was invited to the dance recital.
Okay.
I was invited, and then he came in the cafe, and he said, "Oh, you got people in here, and I ain't inviting them to youths. What is wrong with y'all?"
Yeah, I asked her. I said, "Do you come to youths? But y'all have people in here, and you're not inviting them to youths?"
And then I tell you, I was frightened at it, but he said, "Come to youths on Friday," and I came. I was one of the earliest, actually.
Oh.
And that day, he just said this thing, values. And from since that, story has been just creating itself. And with God's grace, I'm here.
Values. You said values and I got goosebumps. When you said values, Pastor Connell, what did you mean? Because it had a profound impact on this young man.
When he came that night, we were talking about values. So that was it. That was his first engagement with the meeting, and we were talking about values. And I was telling them that values are those beliefs, purposes, and stuff in your life that you choose freely and you act upon. And I was trying to get them to appreciate that they must have values. They must have some non-negotiables in life. What are going to be your non-negotiables? So no matter what happens, these are the things that are going to sustain you. And I'm glad that he always talked about that story, but it was that impactful because that's exactly what I wanted. And I always tell him, I want you to hear my voice and I want you to see my face when there are certain things that you are engaging in that you shouldn't engage in, or there are certain things that you need to bring from your long-term memory. Because as I remember my teachers teaching in primary school with little aids, computers, nothing but very animated, telling stories and painting pictures. And I can still see the pictures in my mind. People, who are now deceased, like Carmen Christopher, who lived on Market Street and stuff like that. And so I came up in that tradition, even where our elders in the community spoke to you through stories and painted pictures, and wanted them to paint these pictures in their mind, because that's exactly what is going to sustain you. They're going to be adults longer than their kids, and so it's important for us to instill that in them, as Mr. Anderson said, so they can then transfer that even to other generations. Because if we don't begin now, we are not going to have a very pretty picture in any time in the next few years.
So, Mr. Anderson, what are some of the topics you're going to touch on so that we can get the gentlemen and the young men interested in coming out?
Some of the topics. Well, you got to have values. Everyone must have values, and you must live by your values. I have them written down in my book. Right, I even have them on my vision board.
Okay, let's do it this way, just to put them in stark relief. The shortcomings, the social shortcomings we have as a society, what would be the values you think need to be worked on?
Well, I know Jamster is going to put us in now, and Jamster is going to take us down a total different road. And I would want to come back with Jamster and talk about that. But she wants to know what you're going to talk about at the program, Beyond Your Bubble.
Okay, no problem.
So we can come back and,
well,
focus on Beyond Your
My Bubble is basically going to be about everyone starts in a bubble from birth.
Yep.
Right? We all start from a bubble from birth. So when we get into this world, we don't know nothing about this world. Right?
Correct.
We proceed from our mothers. Then we get into this world and there's no book.
Nope.
On what direction we need to go in, or you didn't pick your mom, you didn't pick your dad, right? And we all start from the same starting line, right? You and your friends, and you're going through high school, and you're trying to figure out what's your next step after high school. Because I did not fill out not one college application to go to college. Not one. So I'm going to talk about things like that, about my story and how I got to where I am today. I don't want to talk about it too much on the radio, but yeah, I have a story to tell, because it's always about your attitude. It's always about your attitude, getting outside your comfort zone and knowing your why. I'm gonna leave you with that. Come to Antioch Baptist Church.
Friday afternoon, 5:30. Young men 11 to 21. Yes.
So only young men, so the ladies are not invited.
Our turn-on agenda is for young men 11 to 21.
Okay, so.
And
so you're gonna live stream so that we can listen, because
we'll live stream everything.
Oh, because I'm interested.
Yes, we live stream everything. Yes, so it's going to be live stream, so you can listen. But let me just throw this in, even as Mr. Anderson said. I think it's critically important because we don't know when you plant a seed where it's going to go. And one of the things that I remembered distinctly growing up in church, our pastor our founding pastor, pioneer, who's now deceased, he always said to us, he said, listen, this world is going to offer you so many academic, intellectual opportunities. You should do much more than what we have done in our generation. And that has always stuck with me as a young person, hearing him say that. So even what we do today at the church, he always said to us, you will have to build upon what has been done. And so folks think that, you are just going out there and no, we are not competing. It's a vision that though he is dead, speaks from the grave. And I say that to say this, that people like Mr. Anderson, other speakers who speak to these young men are going to be transformed as a result. Because one of the things that challenges me, that often in this society, we have very little positive continuous, consistent reinforcement. And a lot of these young men would say to you, that's exactly what they're looking for. But this is just a start. The Turnaround Agenda is a huge thing. You're going to hear lots more about it, all right? So Friday afternoon, 5:30, 11 to 21, all the young men. Saturday is basically already sold out for the dinner, but Friday evening, anyone is welcome to the concert. It's a contribution of $20 at the door, ladies and men, for the concert. Sunday morning, ladies at 7, men at 9 o'clock on Sunday. And Dwayne is part of our Turnaround Agenda board, so I'll just give him a minute to say something. Jamster told me I had 3 and 1.5 already gone. So 1 minute.
Yeah, good morning, good morning. I put up the 2 fingers because I thought you were going to give me the usual 2 minutes, but I got 1. So good morning, everyone. My name is Dwayne Strawn, and I am on the board of the Turnaround Agenda. And it's a pleasure to be here. And there's so much to say. Pastor Connor is an amazing gentleman, amazing mentor. As a matter of fact, this gentleman to my left is he's my outgoing senior vice president, so we work together.
Oh.
So we like to say that the company Massa was just the vehicle for us to get together. Just a quick story in my 1 minute. When the announcement was made that he was going to be retiring, we all came up to the corporate headquarters. And him and I were driving on, and I'm saying, so what are you going to do? And I'm saying, I always see you as an executive. He's a coach for us. He 19 offices from Bermuda all the way to Trinidad and Tobago. And I said, I always see you as an executive coach because he's big into leadership, compassionate leadership. He said, I want to focus on the youth. Nice. And that's how we got on the phone. We called Pastor Connor right away because he kept saying that I just want to focus on the youth, and it was ordained that way. It was ordained. Exactly. And he booked that arrangement from September, like right away. And so he was already fully committed to that. And I've seen the work that Pastor Connor has done in the Federation, and I think a lot of people sometimes, maybe because they don't know, they don't understand. I could just say this without a doubt. The work that he's doing is being heard of in other Caribbean islands, and they want it. They want him to come. They want them to come to do this. So St. Kitts and Nevis has an amazing gem, an amazing opportunity that I hope they take advantage of. Just last night when I was leaving him, I was coming across over in Frigate Bay, and unfortunately I saw a situation that I thought was a vehicle accident, like maybe somebody was walking and got struck by a car or something. That's what I thought it was. Only to find out this morning that we've lost another young man in the Federation, which is really and truly disheartening. It broke my heart this morning because, we're all here trying to make a difference. And I've seen young men who Pastor Connor has made some influence and inspired and made some significant change. I've seen guys who you just won't expect, to now emerge as leaders and that kind of stuff, etc. So I just want to encourage everyone, if you have young men, please bring them out on Friday evening. It's going to be a turn-around event for your lives, for young and old. So again, thank you for this opportunity for us to be here. And guys, see you on Friday, see you on Sunday morning at church.
I'm here thinking of these guys to sneak in.
It won't work.
No, get my prosthesis and everything ready and just sneak in.
Wow.
Yeah, because the information that I'm getting now, and it isn't even much, is just making me curious. So I hope the listeners and the parents of the young men, 11 to 21, are listening, and then they're going to get them out there to you, Pastor Connor.
Thank you.
So big up the Turnaround Agenda. It's 9:22. Pastor Connor and team, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Caribbean tourism is dead in the water and wholly dependent on what's next in the United States, Europe, and Canada.
Global cases have now passed 13 million just 5 days after we hit the 12 million mark.
In Jamaica, residents of the parish of Hanover are in shock over the brutal slaying of 6 family members on Thursday night.
Chauvin had his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds in total.
It's too much. It's too...
The news does not always have to be about this. There's a lot of good news, good stories, good people, good ideas to talk about. So listen up on Thursdays to Only Good News with your host, Enoite Inanga, from 7 to 8 p.m. It's going to be only good news for 1 hour, where we will share good news from stories and people, locally, regionally, and all over the world. And there's more. You will get to hear from people telling their stories of success, breakthroughs, and perseverance as we feature a special guest each week. It's Only Good News, and it's happening this Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. right after the, regular news. Only Good News on WinFM 98.9 and winfm.com.
Find a way to spend your time in positivity.
Avast me mateys and scalawags. If you is dead, you will have to walk the plank. You think you can walk up one of me? Then come and let me see. Yes. Yes. Me, you crazy. You think you're gonna walk up more than me? Then come and let me see. Yes. Yes. Give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. Yes. Give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. Yes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Chariot as hard as you can. Chariot as up animal. Chariot as hard as you please. Come show me the style. Hands up on your knees. Show me the waistline, baby.
And it's 9:27. I'm here with Kortensia, and we have Upset Squad. Kortensia, that's one of the new.
That's a fake thing.
No, Upset Squad. That's
but the song that they sing. Remember, they have a song.
Oh yeah, that's the same band that with the fake. Oh, you know
I'm
that.
trying to be nice here.
Oh, you know that song, the fake band. Yeah.
Why you?
From since when is bomb an expletive? Come on.
No, it's just the fact, because I don't want anybody coming for me, because to each his own, right? So I don't want anybody coming and say, oh, you're supposed to be supporting us, and all. So yeah. I'm trying to be coy here, Jamsa? Very, very coy. So Jamsa is still, we just had the Antioch Baptist Church, and as I said, I hope the young men go out in their numbers, and it can be, as they say, the start of something great. It's been around before, but let's continue to make it great, and let's build the society of young men or the caliber of young men that we need in society, because
preach.
We just lost another one last night, and if we continue to lose them, then I think our generation would be in jeopardy.
Yeah.
So we need them to get the proper guidance and molding that they need, and the Antioch Baptist Church is providing such a program for such a time as this. Don't mean to sound like a preacher this morning, but moms
preach. But preach.
Get the 11 to 21-year-old out to the Antioch Baptist Church, 5:30 p.m. on a Friday.
Preach, deacon.
But some people are still gonna call in and weigh in on the renaming of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I had a WhatsApp. Someone wanted the conversation to continue. So, folks, you wanna call in and we can continue to hash this out. Carla. I told Carla, I extended the invitation to Carla to. Carla actually has a segment here, I think, usually once a month.
Okay.
She's on the reparations committee, right? So I told her, she's free to come and revisit the topic whenever she wants. So it would be nice, Carla. It would be nice if you call in and weigh in as well.
Yeah.
And anyone else that wants to call and weigh in on the same.
But the whole point of
same issue.
reparations to me is still reminding us of what we had to go through. So although we want to forget and do certain things to help us to forget, with us, with the continued fight for reparations, be it monetary, educational, infrastructural, or whatever, it still reminds us of where we came from, although some of us did not endure the hardship that our ancestors endured.
But people need to pay for their transgressions.
But are we going to be contented with what is being offered?
Yeah, that's a question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I just had a call there, so hopefully the person will call back. Sometimes, right, the light comes on.
Mm-hmm.
It blinks once, and you go on and you get a dial tone.
Oh boy!
So
callers, be patient with us and call.
Hi, caller.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
I hope both of you are doing well.
Yeah.
I don't think I heard Azard name most of the morning, but I just want to highlight something and bring it to the public and to your attention. St. Kitts and Nevis has two airports. Nevis and one in St. Kitts.
Mm-hmm.
Presently, a young man or a group of persons seemingly bought some land, don't know who sold them, some land just outside the approach lights at the airport going up to Monkey Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they might be thinking or started thinking of building in the area right on the opposite side of the road where the approach lights are situated.
Yes.
Just across the road. But I'm trying to fathom how anybody could come up with an idea to build in that specific area knowing that it falls right in the path of approaching aircraft and departing aircraft.
That's a good point, because I remember when I saw the area being cleared, I asked someone if, and now I remember, I think I know. I was told what was going there, but I don't want to say because I'm not sure, but I was told what's going there. But it's funny, I didn't think of your line of thinking, and you are absolutely right. It could be, I don't know. It could be that the FAA regulations allow that, but I mean, going on the pass is possible.
I'll help you, because while we don't operate under the FAA, but on the ICAO, which is the British equivalent to the FAA.
Okay.
And also to the ECA, who's located in Antigua, which is responsible for the OECS islands.
Yes.
Even if the person is thinking it is a possibility to build, why risk it at the expense of the nation or the possibility of something happening there? All right?
I absolutely agree.
Put this into your mind. Aircraft approach, aircraft takeoff in the area. Technology is good, but at the same time, mishaps happen.
Yeah.
What if we were planning to extend the runway that way because we can't go to the Connery way because it's on a hill? What if we were planning to change the approach lights because the approach lights are simple approach lights, which is just a T? Suppose we were planning to go back that way. They are protected surfaces. We have horizontal and vertical, meaning you can't go this way wide or this way in lengthwise with certain things that you can do around that area. As a matter of fact, that area should be a protected zone where nothing at all should happen. All right? We are shadowed across the road by the cable. Yeah, buildings are across there. Even in the past, the designers of Bastille or the roadstead knew that the hospital couldn't go 3 storage up because it's directly in the path of the approach for the airport. Just the hospital is one level.
Good point.
How could anybody choose to put anything in that place? Is it that it was approved to be built by the building board, or the person is seeing what they can do? I'll build still, and if government wants it, they have to stop me. That's ludicrous.
Yeah, because you're wasting your money and your time.
You're wasting your money and your time. There's something called public domain. If the government have to stop you, the first thing people are going to say, this is political. When there's a bigger picture here.
Good point.
And the weirdest thing about it, they seem to have had a conversation with the person who owned the land, and he's rushing to fence it. Why? Why? Think about yourself traveling in a bad day when the weather is and an aircraft have to be sent to 1,000 feet to get to the ground. What if you're on the plane or your family on it?
Or the plane has a shortfall.
Yeah.
If you have a shortfall, because that do happen. As a matter of fact, some years ago we had a tabletop exercise with trade winds where we discussed an aircraft, the possibility of an aircraft running out of fuel and falling short of the airport in that specific area. What would we do?
Oh boy.
You're risking life and limb at the expense of being silly to even think that you should build in that area. It's a good thing, some years ago, Delta tried to put a gas station just off from Connery, and we had to go after them to stop. Because imagine something happening. The weird thing about air traffic control and aviation, you have to take the worst case scenario at all time. What could happen if a gas station went there? Gillard is on the other side. There's some tolerance to be. It's already been there. It's there. But why put something that is new that can bring a complication in a specific area? As I was saying, Delta tried to go similar to where Rocks and Dirt is probably trying to move, and it had to be stopped because you don't know if something is going to happen to interrupt the airport and the operation. Yeah. And here we go, 2023, the year of technology and information, and somebody is trying to build in that specific area at the risk of the general public and aviation in the Federation.
Okay, caller. This is a very important way, and I hope someone with influence and weight to throw around is listening and could make some inquiries.
I really hope that they're listening and the persons involved in this will learn and see the error of what they're doing.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for drawing that to our attention. We have to take a quick break. We'll have to hear from Rams.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. Give her a sip and she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Hey kids, drink healthy.
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors. Drink from more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy. Drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
And we are back. It's 9:38. Let's go back to the phone lines, caller. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes. Good morning, again.
Hey.
That caller was spot on, right? You have to wonder what the planners and so on are thinking when they approve these things. You know, it makes absolutely no sense on both ends of the runway. to be putting things right in the flight path. You know, so close to the runway. Right? I mean, we've made lots of mistakes in the past. That gas station there should not have been there, the one by the...
We just said that. We were just talking about that during the commercial break. Yes.
No, he was talking about, that. He was
Yeah,
talking
but
about
we were saying
on the
it,
other end as well.
Yeah, I was just telling Kortensia that I don't
Mhm.
understand how that gas station was even allowed to go there.
Yeah, I mean, common sense would tell you don't do things like that. But we seem to keep making those mistakes. And I keep saying that when we have projects like these, that it should be open for public scrutiny so that people can make an input, raise objections, and so on. Because obviously, there's something lacking in the way that we go about, whether it's the planning, the approval process, or maybe the experts are overridden by politicians, by the powers that be higher up. But obviously, we're not doing things right. And then we end up with things that come back to haunt us, whether it's housing projects. Regardless of the project, there's always a problem that we have to clean up after. And it's time the way we deal with that is to make sure before these new projects start that there's public scrutiny, let people object, approve, etc., etc. Okay? All right then.
Yes, great. Yeah, it's amazing to me. Some of the stuff that, like I even say, Caught, up there by Rams Cash and Carry, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure Ira probably agrees with me with this too. You remember, Best Buy is there on the corner.
Yes.
And then when they started putting in the lights, and you realize how long it took for them to get up there, sorted out.
Figured it out, yeah.
I don't think Rams Cash and Carry should have been there in the first place. There should have been that space. That space was like old Cane Field or whatever. That should have been left there, so maybe we could have had a proper crossroad or like a roundabout or something. Rams Cash and Carry should never been allowed to go there, because look at how long it took for them to sort out up there, to sort out the slip lane where even if there's a red light, you can go.
You can go,
You
yeah.
can go left, and all of that stuff.
Continue on.
Yeah. We have another caller. Caller, try again.
So
and
who's responsible for making the decisions when they allow persons, as we say, to buy the land and to go ahead with the billing? I don't want to say not having foresight, but to think that you're even putting the person that you sell the land to into danger, and them themselves not seeing the actual danger because they're thinking of good probabilities. They're not thinking of bad ones. That, aircraft's been going for that long, nobody landed here, blah, blah, blah. But you never
doesn't
know.
happen until it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, Azard, you make a point there with the Rams thing and the bypass road. Nothing was supposed to build, But when we all die dead and gone, right? And so people going to see where the mistake lies. Nothing was supposed to build there, but because the third person who run the country wanted praise, because the dirty deal what he used to do for the man, to give him sick leave and he ain't sick because he was a doctor. He gave him there. Nothing was supposed to go there. It was a mechanic place there. And he moved. Right? You had to move, and you only were building out, you only did build out like a tinning and little board and so. I don't know what in the earth. Now they're going to go build something else below it, going back west now. So some kind of worship thing for the Muslim, them or whoever them. Next thing I watch in the place there, I watching, you understand is the old person and the young person. The older person will be looking really forward to the country, danger than the younger one. I watched the place around by the roundabout. I said, what they don't go do there now? Somebody said, they only clean it up, man, nothing go there. They better not put nothing there now. So if they don't take the people their money, they better give them back the money. Because Waterline White Cross, say, what happened to these sick people? So they went all level Azard. They get all of they get BE this and TA that and YO that. Me ain't got a thing but a child. Give me 6 grand and some great one now. Right, and I could see. I see it clean up. I said, what going, they can't put nothing there. Just as they want to call before me say, the plane coming in the line right there by me door, right here the person or Azard, I don't be a little friend near me. So when me and me step here, the plane look like he come by my house. Look, I sit down and me step watching it here, me Lord, I look like I got the wrong spot, you know. So I don't be saying to myself, okay, in my mind, like how he coming to go to the airport, like he coming to me house. All right, here I come to turn to go there, and the direction to the anything good happen one day, I may not be here. I may got my children, my grandchildren live here. Anything good happen is down the line 20, 25 years from now, me don't be gone beyond. They mustn't put nothing there. And they go let the person face it, they better tell the person now that I'll say, curry favor, eh? Curry favor. Too much, yes, man, yes, this, yes, that. Dr. Joe, where you be this morning? This is girl Bernice, right? Better known as the nurse lady. No put none there, I said cleaner, so what I'm going to put there? But I passed there the other day, but me notice let no blacks up. You see I passed there lately? Some dog out last week also I passed there. What am I going to put down that side when you know when the plane come in lower by there you go now? Lower down you go now?
Okay, caller, we have another.
Yeah, man, I'm playing flying on in St. Thomas in the house. So let that guy ahead. I plane it went right in St. Thomas and I was going to the airport.
Okay, caller. That reminds me of she makes a good point. Oh yeah,
because even when I flew and I was a passenger most times on my way home, and we are coming in and I'm looking, I'm saying, boy, these people that live in this area, they are really brave because anything can happen.
Yeah. And we think we're small. When you look at some of the quirky kinds of adjacency airports have to where people live, like in St. Martin, where people actually are on the beach or the planes, and then Stacia and so on.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's weird.
Wasn't that scary for you?
Nah, I enjoyed my time. I wasn't scared because when you take off from St. Martin, you have the updraft that normally tries to. It basically feels like it's pulling the plane back to the ground.
I told you should be a pilot. Call right ahead.
Good morning, Island. Good morning, Jamstown.
Good morning.
No wonderful discussion as usual. No, I was trying to get in early up. But I hear with the animals, them and everything, and just listening on the phone. Now, I agree with Teacher Nettel with everything he said. Nettel, that it's time now we write our history. Nothing wrong, go into the archive and see the history our people come from, and where these plantation owners doing all those things. But it's time that we the young people, young generation coming up, know that where our star will do. People like Robert Bratcher, people like Stanley Franks, where they done gone, and others who has created and tried to educate us the right way of the black history. People like Rascalandry and all those people there. Because let me tell you something, up to now, these people got us subbrains wash up to now still. Fighting against one another politically and ignorant against one another. And I do not know how we can get out of this. Because up to now, a black man, a black Kittitian will tell you that he's an African descendant. He's from this way, he's from descendant from this way. I used to think the same way too. But the more I advance in age and learn, I know that I'm a descendant of Africa. And I have nothing to wash it off. Because if you see how you see what got our people so. Because these guys brainwash us and canalize us. They got us ignorantly thinking against one another politically and grudge one another. Like farming and doing all kind of things. We never see one another rise up. You know what I see? Just before to see the Chinese man come here and advance himself. The Indian come here and advance themselves, and all kind of different race come here and advance themselves, and their own black people start right. They like to see that. We want people, let me know. I tell you what I see for myself. And I tell you, the more I advance in age and in life, I see that with people, if we don't change our attitude and our ways, we will continue to be, and next generation will just come and take over the federation of Think It Nevis. You all have a wonderful day. May God bless.
Same to you.
You too.
Yeah. So lots of things on the callers' minds.
Yeah.
And we have 11 minutes left. So
I like the fact that they raised that concern about the building, though.
Yeah.
Because I literally didn't think something was going there. I just literally thought they were cleaning it, because I remember one time I had seen the what did they call the gentleman that used to clean up there and the ladies and stuff? I've seen it clean before, but I never knew.
Oh, phone's going crazy now. Caller, go right ahead, Island T. Caller, go right ahead, Island T.
Hello there, good morning.
Hey,
just
what's
a
up?
quick one here. I just wanted to respond to what I've heard earlier on concerning the name change of persons who were descendants of these so-called slave owners or slave masters.
Yeah.
The name change, I think we had a very, very good example of Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. Changing names of those guys who were pirates and buccaneers and masters of slavery and all that kind of stuff. So I think that is evident. If you want to change your name, it's an option. You know, name changing, I think, is something, because we never retain our original names. They give us their names. This is something we want to look at, consider. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. On to the next. Island. Okay. We hope you call back. Yeah, let's go back to the phone line. It's 10 minutes until 10 o'clock. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, man. Good morning to you guys.
Hey,
man.
what's up?
Good morning.
Yeah, basically, man, I know you're running out of time, but that last caller, I think his name is Mr. Politics. You know, nicely put, man. I just want to support his comments. You know, really and truly, man, it's a lot of infighting inside St. Kitts and Nevis, especially on the political scene. You know, the pace is polarized, man. You know what I mean? The politicians got the people fighting against each other and back and forth. Even in your comments, like on the live chat and stuff like that, you know, you make a comment, a positive critique about this government that's in control right now, and persons always revert back to the old administration used to do this, so we could do this now. People ask for the transparency for the CBI program. Oh, Timothy Harris them didn't release the information before. You know, if this infighting continues, is stunting the growth and stunting the development of the country. You know what I mean? We drive in a car and looking in the rearview mirror, and you know, we got to govern and we got to move the country forward. You know what I mean? But Mr. Politics was right on the money, man. I just want to support them. Black people, you know, the divide and conquer thing has really conquered us, man. We don't have no unity, and we don't want to associate with Africa. You know what I mean? And the Prime Minister said they're now forging relationships with Saudi Arabia. You know, what happened to right there across the Atlantic, West Coast Africa? Even people are asking about the statistics from the CBI program. You know, we don't even know. Have they ever targeted Africa? You know, is there Africa don't have the millionaires there, and the wealthy people there in Africa that can invest in our program? You know what I'm saying? You know, we going all the way to the Middle East to target people over there, but we don't target our own black people in West Coast Africa.
Okay.
You know, come on, the Caribbean leaders down.
Okay, call
their
it.
man is not really. They don't really got it all together like that, man. We need some more unity in the Caribbean, and we need to start some trade and some flights across the Atlantic.
Okay, caller.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah,
You guys
great.
do
Sure,
good
no
work.
problem. On to the next caller. Go right ahead.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, Johnson.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, cool. I have two questions actually to ask. I heard, well, I tuned in late. What they said they had someone die. Why, it's a murder or accident?
It's a homicide.
Oh, wow. I wish I didn't get in earlier, but I don't know if you guys discussed it. I understand there was some sort of a marriage of two male at Figgy Bay last Friday, something like that.
Yeah, I heard Socrates discussing it yesterday on Voices.
man, that's sad. That's sad. I didn't know that law was upholding our federation.
Well, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if the laws here support that.
Well, obvious if it happened.
Operative, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That's sad, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both the things is sad, yeah.
I'm gonna.
But I hope most parents actually take on the invitation from the pastor. Maybe that might help detour at least some mind.
Yeah.
You know, to lose one and to lose two, it's too many for a small nation. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Colin.
All right then, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
On that Saudi Arabia issue, I remember when I heard the story last night, I remember thinking that's of questionable utility of having an e-passport for Saudi Arabia. I mean, who wants to go visit a country where I'm walking my wife in a mall, and if I kiss my wife or hold her hand, that's a problem? I might get thrown in prison? I mean, what's so attractive about
or you can't be seen outside with a girlfriend. You have to be married.
It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why? What does I need visa for Saudi Arabia? How does that help?
Mm.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the money that they're offering, and as you can see, Mr. Gonzalez sort of mentioned, because he've already struck a deal with them where they can lend him money to improve his infrastructure, especially healthcare.
Oh, that's all. Oh, and by the way, I'm glad that we're talking about this. Saudi Arabia and a lot of the Middle East, they should be included in the reparations question and the reparations issue, because they were slaving even before the Europeans.
Oh.
So that's something we need to be talking about as well.
Okay.
So yeah, let's take their money, but I don't know.
But we still have to pay them back, though.
I don't know about.
They're not giving it for free. We have to pay them back.
Well, yeah, give it a half percent interest, maybe. Yeah.
2%.
Start the reparations.
Mr. Gonzalez mentioned 2%. Yeah. I didn't see. I learn something new every single day, and it just makes me go and do some research on what is what. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, this is one. That's one of the things we should be. It's funny you don't hear many people talking when we talk about reparation. I think I heard Carla mention it one time, but most people don't realize that the Arabs were actually involved in enslaving Africans.
Because what we are taught in school is from.
Yes.
That, as you all know. So that's something new that I learned today. I never knew that.
So
never
and it's still going on, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it still goes on. I see a message here. I would love to see what this guy with the New York accent, what the New York accent looks like. I admire that he lives out there and still follows St. Kitts news. Yeah, that's true. He calls it pretty much every day. Caller, go right ahead. It's 4 minutes until 10 o'clock. Island Tea, go right ahead.
The last thing. Do you know why they changed?
Okay, please be brief.
Because you go around here. Well, the gentleman who died when my old family told me there was this black, beautiful woman came out of Africa. I mean, I changed it to the way I committed. But a lot of people really change up the name terminology, this terminology. But the title become limited. All you got to do, just live with it till you die. I hear the teacher was saying that, oh, you do this, do that. Look here, I was trying something out yesterday in a Mary Charles Hospital. Right? That was supposed to name Nostradamus because she was a midwife. Azard, she used to walk good distance, you know, Mullen, you can't maybe you teach her with I know, before you become a lawyer. And she used to walk from the distance to Molyneux to Lodge Village, to Lodge Product, to Atlas Village. She used to have a bike in she young days, maybe in she 20, 30s and so. But as she get older, when she deliver me, she had no boy. She deliver me mother with some Harry. One died, 6 are alive. None of it passed yet. And she deliver me with me one daughter, Diana. And look, she alive till today. In the 90s, I mean in the early 60s, late 60s, sorry. So I don't know what people just trying to make a reference. I was trying to rectify it yesterday. You know, a guy calling and diss me. It's Molyneux school, and I must know what to say. Just somebody calling and speak about it.
Okay, caller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where they're from.
Okay, so yeah, we got 2 minutes to shoot the breeze, and just me and you now.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to continue reparations talk. As I said, there was the article here from Loop Caribbean that says they want Africa to get in on it with them. Let me find the exact thing so I can say it correctly. But give me 1 second to pull it up, Jam. But yeah, so regional government wants collaboration with Africa on issue of reparations. But that's what and I want to know what are we basically asking for with reparations, and when we get it, are we going to be contented? Is it going to be enough? And is it going to make us forget about what happened to our ancestors? Or is it just going to cover the wound until... Because I don't think it goes away, because generation after generation we are taught that this is what happened to our ancestors. So I don't understand what... I'm not against it, but I want to know what will it solve.
Well, they'll be paying. I mean, you know, sometimes people get in trouble and they get sued and they have to pay a lot of money.
But
it might not unbreak the leg or unsick the person or bring back someone from life, but at least.
But what happened when the money's gone and you see yourself hopping around
But the point is, there were consequences, and people have to understand that there are consequences for their actions.
Understood.
Yeah.
But is it gonna make everything okay? We forgive, but we don't forget. So how is... I don't understand. I can understand it going towards the development of the country, the education of the younger generation, etc., etc. But what wounds? What does it soothe? What does it make us forget? How does it fix what we've been through and make it right? How?
Yeah, that's an interesting philosophical question, actually. We should have a discussion on that, because I know, you know, some people look at it in very literalistic terms, where, like they'll say, well, if the Netherlands and the UK give us $10 billion, I mean, what does it fix? I actually think arguments are easier to make in those cases, because you can say things like, well, we can set up, for example, commissions that will, with experts,
prevent stuff from like this from repeating itself.
But also to build out social infrastructure that would work towards repairing.
But then guess what somebody's gonna say? Okay, let's say it's a social infrastructure, right? But then somebody's gonna say, "Oh, the money came from reparations, which is slavery."
Right.
It just never goes away.
They're in a sense, we would have been recompensed up to some point, at least. Okay, well,
but we conversation.
I know, but
I don't.
You could look at it like, okay, well, these people made money off of us, off of our free labor for centuries.
Yes.
Okay, so they gave us, say, 50 billion or whatever it is, and it is up to us now to say, for example, okay, let's make sure we have a proper social net. Let's make sure we evolve our society to the point where we're not so dependent on those people, right? You know, the guy was talking about Massa, for example. We build out our healthcare system where we don't have to be flying people overseas, or you know, not just all
then
sorts of things.
Imagine the younger generation coming after us. We may not be around, and you said, "Oh, and there are some inquisitive kids in there or child, and they say, where did you get this money from? Oh, from reparations." From the slavery now. It just the topic does not end.
It doesn't end. No.
Doesn't end.
The money's good though.
Yeah, for a while, because everything disappears. We know how money comes and it goes. Yeah.
Okay, it's 2 minutes after 10 o'clock. We're gonna have to go upstairs for our licks for going to 2 minutes over.
Oh boy, we are sorry, but we enjoyed your company. We hoped you enjoyed ours, and same time. Same place tomorrow with Azard and Mishi.
Yes, I certainly enjoyed yours. Oh, yeah, you won't be here tomorrow.
Oh, no.
So Mishi. Yeah.
Yeah, so you and Mishi on hard topics tomorrow.
It would be nice if the three of you all come one of these times.
Make it
That
happen.
would be fun. Actually, I'm going to say that to Azard.
Okay, make it happen.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I see you on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
And have a great weekend in the meantime.
Yeah. Until then, bye for now.
Bye.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
The climate change crisis is already making millions of people sick and jeopardizing lives. But for us in the Caribbean, young people are among the most vulnerable. Our future